This is KUGAN CASSIUS Rifle TV in association with Matt
You
Hinsley
piping
and
up in the press conference, trying to get things stirred up. Oh, excuse me, sir. I would just like to say that I did interview Andy Lee, and he said this.
Why not?
It was kind of a reverse, wasn't it, that press conference? I was expecting Spike to be goading Eubank, and Eubank was goading Spike.
I know.
Good.
Get
on the front foot.
I get a feeling that he had a little word in his ear about maybe tapering it down a bit.
Pascal.
Possibly telling Spike. But I thought it was rather entertaining anyway.
It was very entertaining. It's a great fight. Look, take the animosity away, take the edge away, and it's a fight to establish the mandatory challenger in the middleweight division. The winner of this fights the winner of Quillen against Jacobs. It's a massive fight for the division, and it's a great fight.
Do you have any idea why this fight wasn't previously made? Obviously not under your promotional.
I don't want to talk too much about it, but if this fight was going to get made, it involved a promotional contract as well, as did a lot of offers for other middleweights and super middleweights. So I don't, you'll have to speak to them. Oh, you can't, can you? But I think generally it's because they wanted to be with Matchroom and they wanted to box on Sky. So it wasn't a case of, they turned fight down for the reason of the fights. I know that because I've talked to them about these fighters, and they've told me the instruction is I fight them. When I phoned them up about Spike, I said, listen, I'd love to make this fight for December 12th. What do you think? Yes, fine. Done. Went over, done a deal with Spike, done.
This fight here kind of is your chief support to Joshua and White. The card itself still has a couple of opponents to be decided and
well, not decided, but we have to wait to announce some of them because we're pushing through some, waiting on some sanctioning requests. I'll tell you exclusively, KUGAN. At the moment, we're looking at Dillian Whyte against Joshua, Eubank against Spike O'Sullivan, Bellew against Masternak, Mitchell's in a really big fight, Campbell. I'm going to be adding 1, possibly 2 further title fights to the bill as well of our 18 fighters. One in particular, which you'd never guess in a million years, and I haven't even told you.
Give us some indication.
Oh, it's not my fighter. That's all I'm saying.
It's not your fighter. How big is it? How big of a name is he?
Everybody in boxing knows who he is. Everyone who even remotely follows boxing knows who he is. I'll tell you after.
Okay.
So I'm just working on it at the moment, but there'll be at least 1, possibly 2.
So how many fights are you looking for? Will be total?
Well, I've also got Martin Ward's on as well. I'm going to put young Bellotti on. I think Cheeseman, but 7 or 8 major title fights.
People are still asking questions regarding this being a pay-per-view card. Can you give any more information about that?
Next few days you'll get an announcement on that.
Okay.
As I said in an interview, I think it's very likely. Very likely.
Okay. Kell Brook, obviously, you did have a plan after he was injured.
Well, apparently, I took him off October 24th to put him on December 12th.
You had a plan to put him on the 12th. That hasn't worked out either.
It wasn't a plan.
No,
He's
but after he got injured, you had a plan to put him on.
No, I didn't have a plan to put him on. People asked me, "Are you putting him on December 12th?" I said, "If he's fit, possibly, but I don't think he will be fit or ready for December 12th." And as usual, I was right. Okay. It's a joke, by the way, just in case people start throwing things at the screen. But no, he won't be ready for this year. He has a rib injury. It's still not right. It's still very sore, and he won't be boxing until the end of January, early February.
So, have you got him?
Please, call you later.
Have you got like a show you want to revolve Kell Brook around for the early part of next year?
Yeah, we're planning all our shows. We're going to go January the 30th in London. We're going to go probably the week after or the week after that with Brooke. Then we're going Quigframpton. Then we're going to go Birmingham with Eggington against Gavin. Then we're going to look at Liverpool. I'm giving all my plans away, all my strategies. Other promoters will be sitting this now going, actually they won't, they'll probably be going, I'm not going there then.
Kell Brook next year. Will the Chavez fight still happen?
Yeah, that's the plan. I mean, look, obviously, I had some interesting chats with Amir Khan on Saturday night, and if he fights in January, which I think he might, I think the Brook fight can happen in the summer. You know, I said to him, you've got to sit down and look at this fight, mate. How much are you getting for these other fights? You're not getting enough money. I can pay you 5 times that for this Kell Brook fight. And I said to him, and Kell's only going to have a couple more fights at welterweight before we move up and win the world title at light middleweight. And he went, well, don't move up. I said, well, what do you mean? You got to fight me first. I said, well, make the fight. He said, well, all right then. I said, well, come on then. You can't, if we were looking at a May or June fight at Wembley, you can't just decide that in March. These things take planning, so it's a major operation. So I'm going to get onto him and tell him, let's get this fight made. But I also like the Tim Bradley fight, and I think they're up for it as well. It's a great fight, unification.
What is your step in doing that then? Is it to actually physically make a formal offer?
It's not an offer because it'll be a split of a show. It's like Quick-Frampton. I made them an offer. I didn't like it. Didn't go down very well. I can make, I've already offered Amir Khan $5 million to fight Kell Brook. That was before he was even world champion. So think of the money in the pot now.
There's got to be 4 times that, isn't there?
No. But I think double's realistic. So where's he getting his money? It's like, I know what he's making in America. It's not a lot of money compared to the Brook fight. We'll lose it.
Who do you think he'll fight in January?
Maybe Danny Garcia. Maybe. So that's not a bad fight. It's got history. I want him to take that fight. I actually think Amir wins that fight, but I'd rather he didn't take it if he's going to fight Brook next.
But obviously, if Kell is going to fight before the, if Amir is going to fight before potential fight with Kell Brook in the summer, he loses. That's out the window.
If Kell Brook,
if Amir was to lose,
oh no, it's not out the window. But obviously, he ain't going to make $10 million, is he? And then it won't happen because Kell will want to give him 20%. 25%, and it will never happen. These fights have to be made at the right time. Quick-Frampton was all about timing. All of a sudden, done. It's the right time. Now, Khan Brook, the time is now to make this fight. Don't lose it. It'll be gone forever.
But it must give you some encouragement that you finally got Quick-Frampton done after 15 years. That fights can be made.
Yeah, well, they can, but again, it has to be at the right time. And I just feel, after that conversation, Brook Khan, in the summer, the time is now to make that fight.
You've said that the Quick-Frampton fight was ultimately made because both fighters wanted the fight.
Yeah.
You've also said that with the Brook Khan situation, you felt that maybe Amir didn't want it.
I think Amir thinks about, what if I lose to Kell Brook? And I think he's been looking for these big fights, like Mayweather-Pacquiao, thinking, one, if I win, the Brook fight is twice as big, true. But even if I lose, I still have another big fight in me, like the Brook fight. If I lose to Kell Brook, where do I go? I think he thinks he can win the fight, but I think he knows how dangerous the fight is. And it should be dangerous for that kind of money.
Recently, it sort of come out, some quotes regarding Carl Froch. You spoke to Carl recently?
Yeah, I spoke to him the other day.
What did he say?
He said, there's only one fight for me, isn't there? Gennady Golovkin. I said, yep.
And?
No, but that was the conversation. We talk about the DeGale thing, and obviously quotes get taken out of context and stuff like that. And I said, I'd love you to fight James DeGale. I think he's a great fight. But I don't think, I know what I paid him for the Wembley fight, and I know what I'd need to pay him to bring him out of retirement. And it's not the James DeGale fight, it's the Gennady Golovkin fight.
But does he have interest in the James DeGale?
Yeah, I think from a competitive position, but again, it's not that kind of goes out the window when you say, right, this is how much you can earn for that fight, or this is how much you can earn for the Gennady Golovkin fight. He said to me, I'll give you a little bit of exclusive. I'm not sure I could make £168 like I used to. I put a lot of muscle on. He said, but the max weight for Gennady is 168, isn't it? And I said, yeah. And I text Tom Loeffler. I said, Tom, what's the max weight we could make Gennady Golovkin against Carl Froch at? And he replied, 168. So I went back to Carl and said, 168. And he went, And that was the end of the conversation.
It's clearly somewhere in his brain.
It's on his mind, yeah.
So, as a hunch, do we see Carl Froch return next year? As a hunch, yes or no?
Against Gennady Golovkin?
Well, just say return.
I think it's the only fight. I think Carl Froch will fight Gennady Golovkin next year.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do. But I might just be in a strange mood today, because I actually think BROOK will fight Khan in the summer of next year.
Can't wait for your Christmas wish list.
Yeah, I've done well. I've done well on the one this year. Got one, and it wasn't even this year.
No. Alright, well listen, have you got anything else you want to add?
No, I've given you exclusives galore, haven't I?
That's good.
You must be in loving this one.
Interviewed Ronnie Davis earlier on, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, had a nice little chat with Ronnie.
Good.
Alright.
Won't be long. We'll get you before the Eubanks, don't worry.
Eddie Hearn, thanks for talking to Icon TV. Your whole matchroom was waiting for you. The leader. I'll speak to you soon.
Cheers.